Today I have my little friend here, a very cooperative doll, who's going to help us work through some sitting positions and how to facilitate core strength and sitting in your new baby. I'm Kelsey Baas, Doctor of Physical Therapy and Pediatric Physical Therapist. So there's a couple concepts that are going to carry over all the way through all the skills you work with: sitting, standing, walking. And that is, the higher you're holding them, the more help you're giving them, and the lower you go, the harder your baby's working. So whether you're working on sitting or standing or walking, we want to give them support as low as possible towards their hips or their legs, where they're not going to lose their balance. So I always kind of start higher. If they feel really stable, I slowly move my hands down until I feel like they are able to sit without me holding on. The next thing we want to think about in sitting is there's good and bad sitting positions to practice. The most important thing is variety. So we don't want a child in one position all the time, regardless if that's a normal position or not. We want to see our babies moving in and out of different positions, doing everything to both sides. And so a couple of the positions we're going to want to see our babies work through as they get older is just normal sitting and what we call normal ring sitting, where their feet are kind of together and their legs are making a ring. You may see different variations of this with one leg in or the other leg in. So they're going to start with a wider base of support, and as they get stronger, move their legs closer together. The other option you're going to see really early on is what we call prop sitting, where they are putting their hands down, and you can just do hand over hand assistance to teach them that prop sitting. And then as they get stronger and you strengthen those glutes and core, they're going to be able to come up without having to tripod onto their hands. The next thing we're going to want to see as they progress is what we call side sitting. So I have the little legs to the side. If you have a hard time seeing what that looks like, that is putting them in this position with their legs. So side sitting is a great way to strengthen, and we want to make sure they're doing it to both sides. If they're only able to do it to one side, just like everything else we talk about, symmetry, if there's asymmetry, that's a sign of tension. They may have more mobility in one hip than the other. One side of their body may have a lot of tension, and that's where a pediatric PT can come in and do some body work to help release that tension so that they can get to both sides. Why is it so important to get to both sides? Well, this side sitting position is going to be exactly what they transition to get in and out of crawling, to move around throughout the day. And so if they can only sit in one place, we're not going to be able to progress towards those more mobile skills that's going to ultimately lead to crawling and getting around the environment that they have set up for them with their toys. And so the other thing I want to kind of touch base on is W sitting. So when they as they get older towards those toddler years, if you see those legs coming out to the side, we don't want to see a W. We're putting a lot of pressure on their hips and they're not having to use their core muscles. So instead, we're going to encourage them to bring their feet together and sit back on their knees like this. This is totally fine. We just don't want to see their feet coming out into that W. If I ever have a kiddo who W sits, I always encourage the family and caregivers to use one phrase. So whether it's fix your legs or sit on your bottom, always use the same cue to get them out of that W. If kids transition in and out of it or spend a little bit of time in it, that is definitely okay. Again, we're looking for patterns of always doing the same thing. So we don't always want to be stuck in one position, and we want to be able to do things to both sides. So sitting progression, we're going to go from prop sitting to upright sitting with a wide base of support to a more narrow base of support, and then into those side sitting and more advanced sitting positions so they can transition in and out of crawling, pull to stand, and really get moving. If you need help with any of these, call your local physical therapist. They can give you tips and tricks. You can also check out my Little Movers course online, where we take you through with live babies how to learn all of these sitting skills and purposeful play ideas for you and your little one.